Good morning. This is Patrick Lee, your host of Midweek Motivation Live. We're going to dive into another great show today. This is one that I think is going to help you. It's helping me. And I believe it's something that we all need to talk about and help us grow as we age. And I know you hate it when I say things like that. As we age, I am now 61 and fixing to be 62 in a few months. Oh, we're not old, right? We're just getting seasoned. I've just got a little more salt in my hair than I do pepper. So it's all good. But most of my friends are younger than me. I have a few, of course, that are older than me. I like to have a great mix of people in my life and a lot of people I can learn from, a lot of people that I can help as well. Thank you, everyone. People already tuning in to watch the show. I trust and pray that you get something great out of it today. Five people you must avoid to be happy and successful as we age is the topic of the show today. A midweek motivation live now on all major podcast platforms. Wherever you go to consume your podcast and motivational content, you can find midweek motivation live, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple iTunes, podcast, many places, Podrunner, wherever you go to listen to your podcast, or on YouTube. We also have the Midweek Motivation Live YouTube channel, and the show gets uploaded later this afternoon, usually shortly afternoon, maybe right before lunch or right after. After we go, the show is now being broadcast live on Facebook and LinkedIn, simulcast, and then gets uploaded to Buzzsprout right after the show, and then uploaded to YouTube after that. So go to the Midweek Motivation Live channel on YouTube as well. We used to simulcast to YouTube also, but many of you that are YouTubers, you know that YouTube will crunch you down in the analytics if you're going live from another service, another program. So we upload it as original content when the show has finished aired, and it gets uploaded to Buzzsprout. Also, we upload the MP4 to YouTube. So go watch it there. People tuning in already. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Good morning, Miss Lisa, my dear friend. Good to see you on here at the beginning of the show. Today's show is just for you. The five people that you must avoid to be successful and happy in life, or happy and successful in life. There's always going to be some outliers on all of these topics, and the list that I bring you each and every week, there will be outliers, right? Things that can change, people that can change. But at the end of the day, these are a good group of the five people that we really must learn to avoid, because they literally they slow us down. They kind of ruin our life. They harsh my buzz, right? They kill my vibe, whatever you want to call it, right? But speaking of buzz, today's show, Midweek Motivation Live, is now sponsored by Stellar CBD products. Elevate your wellness with Stellar. You can go to www.getstellar.com, GETSTLLR.com, and use the code Patrick20, all caps, Patrick20. You'll get 20% off all of your orders of Stellar CBD and mushroom products for health and wellness. I have got a plethora of products here in front of me in my fancy box that I keep them near me, and I use the Energy and Focus. I'm still energized and focused this morning for the show, and I'll be probably after lunch, I'll be hitting an Energy and Focus gummy, and these are full of lion's mane mushrooms, ginseng, and B12, gluten-free. I also have regular CBD gummies that have 25 milligrams of CBD in them, cooling gel, warming gel, a THCV gel cap, which is amazing, an appetite suppressant. I've been using these lately. I'm down 20 pounds. You'll be proud to know I do practice what I preach. I do watch my diet. I do exercise, and I do use great products that supplement me as I age a little older than a couple of you, to help suppress appetite and help me to eat better, stay on track. Stellar products. No pot, no THC. This is good stuff. I'm telling you, it's good stuff. GETSTLLR.com. Go there. You'll be happy that you did. Use my code, get 20% off all orders, not just your first order. You can't join this and sponsor people. It's not a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing company, just a great online company. I know the owners personally. they wanted to sponsor the show. And I said, amen, let's do it. I love these guys, good products. Hello, Miss Gina. Happy Wednesday to you as well. My two favorite title agents, both watching the show at the same time. We're all friends. They're all friends too. I love it. You guys are awesome. Let's dive into the show today, shall we? Dream killers, the number one person we need to avoid as we move forward, wanting to be happy in life. There's going to be 5 of them. The first one is dream killers. Listen, I trust that you get something out of the show today. We want to fuel your purpose. We want to energize your mindset. I want to push you to walk boldly into your calling in life, doing better in life, right? So I want to dive into these. Dream killers is the first one, but these are the 5 people we must avoid to be successful and happy and have peace, especially as we age. Time is, I know you're going to say, Patrick, stop saying that. As we age, we're all aging. The older we get, the faster time goes. It's just part of life. It is what it is. But the sooner we get these things set up into our spirit and into our mind, the happier and the more successful we'll be. There's never a better time than now to start this, other than yesterday, right? If yesterday was the best day, today's the next best day now. So time is too valuable to let it slip away. Energy is too limited, right? Our finite resources, time and energy and money. And your legacy is too important to waste on the wrong people. So let's jump into this. The dream killers. Patrick, what are you talking about? Dream killers. Dream killers are those who can't see beyond their own limitations. So they try to impose their limitations on you. You all know who these types of people are, right? They disguise their doubt as logic or it's just good advice I'm trying to give you. But they also cast their fear on you as just being a realist. Hey, come on, when the rubber meets the road, this is what we need to do. Or this is just how it is. I reject that, right? And you can too. I don't have to accept what they say. Their doubt, their fear isn't logic. It's still fear. They can call it realism, but in their mind, it's fear. And the biggest thing driving that fear is generally jealousy or envy. They don't want you to out-succeed them. They don't want you to be happier than them. So they try to pass that off as concern, but it's not. It's fear. Fear of losing you. Fear of losing what you have to give, right? And they want to hold on to that. I heard this analogy years ago, and it was about a group of people in a pit. And the one guy that's strong enough to try to climb out of the pit works his way up the wall. As soon as he starts to get to the top, the other people pull him back down. Why? Not because they don't want him to get out of the pit, but they don't want him to leave them. And if he gets out of the pit, they're afraid they can't get out of the pit either, or they won't be able to get out of the pit. So they want to keep you in the pit. And it's just like, it's this never ending self-fulfilling prophecy of staying in the pit. Who wants to stay down there in the pit, right? Hello, Miss Jackie. Good morning. Good to see you on here, sister, as well. I'm glad you got to see me too. That's awesome. I love it. Jackie's such a special lady. So anyway, as we age, as we move forward in life, our clarity starts to increase. And so should our confidence in who we are and who God created us to be, right? There's no time to second guess yourself because someone else lacks the courage to chase their dreams and their goals also. They may not have vision in their life, but you do. I do. So do you, right? Dream killers shrink what's possible. So we need to learn how to guard our thoughts, guard our visions, only share them with people that will help you grow them and achieve them, right? We don't want those dream killers trying to shrink them and shove you in a box somewhere, right? No one puts baby in a corner, and they don't you either. Dream killers want to shrink what's possible. So we need to protect those. We need to speak life to them. Surround yourself with people who expand your vision, who grow your vision, not suppress it. Your dream is divine. I truly believe that. Protect it like it is. It really is divine. I'll tell you what, and this is just another side plug, since I have started using the Stellar CBD products, I am sleeping better and dreaming more. My wife has been telling people, Patrick used to live on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Now he gets 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night. And I used to not dream for years, and I've been having some very vivid dreams. Great dreams. I don't ever have nightmares or bad dreams. I have good dreams, and I remember a lot of them. And it's It's amazing. It's so refreshing to me. As just literally another side product of using these products. God created them. I'm taking them. I love them. There you go. The number two type of person we kind of need to avoid if we want to be successful and happy are the emotional leeches. These people don't just ask for help, they demand your help. They demand your attention. They demand your energy, your comfort, and your resources. We've done entire shows on your resource cup. And these people want to just stick their straw in your cup and start sucking all of your resources out. But what we have got to understand is that we need to be around people that fill our cup up until it overflows. And when that cup overflows, they're all able to benefit from the overflow, not suck out of the original resource, right? As those resources are growing. But these emotional leeches, they're like bloodsuckers. They get in there and they just want to suck all of your resources away, your time, your money, your energy, with worthless conversation about things that don't matter, that only pertain to them and their low vision. They never want to offer something to help you grow in return. They're not in your life to build or support or lift you up, but they're there to consume from you. And we call that I learned in biology. Many of you took biology in school, right? And there are many types of relationships. And the one that we need to stay away from are the parasitic relationships, right? These people are emotional parasites. And I'm like, I hope you're not feeling like you are one of them. But if you recognize yourself doing this, just remember Patrick Lee called you an emotional parasite. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is what it is. These people aren't here to help us. They're not here to pour into us. They're simply here to consume what we have to offer. We are the stewards of everything that we have to offer. We must be good stewards of that, right? If every interaction leaves you drained or feeling less than, that's a sure sign something or someone needs to be given less access into your life. You were not created to be someone else's emotional crutch, someone else's fountain of youth or fountain of ministry or fountain of money, right? God intended that to be for you and your inner circle, your sphere of people, that you all do this together, right? You help each other together. You're not here to just be a fountain for everyone else, right? Freely you have received, freely give. Absolutely. Does that mean you need to continue to freely give that to people who are just there to consume and not pour back into you? Good question. Something you need to ask yourself. Jesus took time to withdraw and recharge himself, right? If even Jesus did that, isn't that a good example that we need to do that as well? Jesus took time to withdraw and recharge. Yes, at the beginning of his ministry, he went 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness and fasted and prayed and was tempted multiple times by the enemy, who came and told him how to cheat reality, cheat destiny, and anything that he wanted, he could have. But he took the discipline to know that this is the time I need to get closer, draw closer to my Lord, to God, my Father, and prepare myself. And he took time to go into the garden and pray and seek the Lord's face. Took care of himself. He ministered for 3 years, yes, but he took time to withdraw, recharge his spiritual batteries. And we need to do the same thing. You're not being rude by setting limits with some people. You're being wise. Say yes to the people who fill your cup and no to the people who drink from your cup unworthily. Number 3, the stuck in the past crew, the remember whens, the people that are always thinking about the glory days. Remember the glory days. I watch the person that comes to mind. Shame on me, is the uncle in Napoleon Dynamite, who's out there in front of his van with a giant VCR recording himself throwing the ball, right? Because he remembers when he was a high school football player, and all of these things come back to him. He can never get out of it, right? On Married with Children, Al Bundy was always talking about Polk when they beat Polk and they won the championship, right? Back in the old days. Remember when, that sitcom on with Chris Farley, not the sitcom, but SNL or Mad TV, whichever one it was with Chris Farley. And he would always be sitting on the couch next to a famous person, and he would get into the remember wins. Hey, you remember that time you did such and such? Yeah, that was great. And it was all the remember wins. Well, these are the people that live in rewind, not fast forward. They're either idolizing the past or they're using it as a weapon to keep you in the past. Remember that time you failed? You shouldn't try again because you failed last time you tried that. Remember that time you tried to leave town and you came back? Remember that time you got married and it didn't work out? Remember that time when you started that business and you've lost a lot of money and maybe you had some investors that lost some money? You should probably never do that again. Those were not good times. These are the kind of people that will never grow. They will never allow you to grow because you're still trying to climb out of that pit and they're stuck in that pit, right? You used to be so much better. Why change what used to work 20 years ago? How many times have you heard that at your church, at your business? Well, this is the way we've always done it, or this is the way we used to do it. Remember the songs we used to sing? Remember that preacher we used to love? They don't want anything to move forward and grow. Why change what worked 20 years ago? These people resist progress because they fear the unknown, and your evolution is unknown to them. And it will change their comfortable spirit of stagnation, the still dead waters that they're sitting there just laying in. I can't stand that. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and some of the worst things, the most disheartening things, are people that buy land or inherit land and they put a pond on it, and it's just a pond. There's nothing in the pond that's alive other than weeds and pond scum. It gets this big film on top, and they're constantly battling this pond with all of this stagnant water in it, and it does nothing but grow mosquitoes and frogs, and they're just miserable. That pond, to be healthy, needs fish in it. It needs other things eating the weeds and the plants and the pollen and everything that falls in it to keep the water somewhat clean. And then, as the fish go to the bathroom, it fertilizes the water, and then you have healthy plants. But the best ponds are the ponds that are fed by a stream. It has fresh water coming into it, stagnant water flowing out of it. And we need to be that way as well. We need to constantly have that fresh stream of motivation, God's spirit, love, resources, joy, peace, all of those things flowing into our lives. So we need to stay around people that do that because they're pouring that fresh water into our pond, into our spirit. And the stagnation goes out the backside, right? All of that needs to be flushed away. God doesn't live in nostalgia. God lives in today and the future. All of his plans are yes, his promises are yes and amen for us to have what? A bright future. Behold, I'm doing a new thing, he says in his word. You can't drive your life forward by staring in the rear view mirror. Let go of those who won't grow with you. Your destiny isn't behind you, it's ahead of you, right? Number 4, the number 4 type of person we need to stay away from: the complainers and critics. Man, these people are good. They just get my goat. Maybe they do yours too. Some people are addicted to negativity. They find something wrong with everything. Everything is a setback for them, never a comeback. Someone is always to blame. They never accept the blame for anything. It's always someone else's fault. They always criticize everything that you try to do. Complainers drain momentum. They throw roadblocks in your road. They throw blocks and rocks in front of the tires of your wheel. And how many of you know it's so hard to go ahead when you're trying to jump over all of these things? Critics tear down what they can't build themselves. Some of you need to write that down. Critics tear down what they can't build themselves. And when you're trying to move into your calling, into a place of success and happiness, that negative energy is toxic. As we mature in life, our peace must become non-negotiable. I'll say that again. As we mature, our peace must become non-negotiable. Protect it from constant drama, gossip, or criticism disguised as honesty or love. Critics didn't call you. God called you. I need to drink some of my coffee here in my fire slice pizza cup. I've got too much caffeine today. I'm drinking some half calf. so I can calm down just a little bit. I'm excited about this topic. Those of you that know me, this is kind of my mantra. I was drinking coffee in my backyard this morning as a side note, and I was going to upload a little short video, and my phone airdropped it to my laptop in the wrong format and it wouldn't upload to StreamYard. But I was sitting in my backyard. I have a bird feeder. It hangs from my locust tree in my backyard. And I've really started developing some enjoyment in the mornings to fill in the bird feeder, the bird feeder with bird seed for tropical birds and songbirds. And we've had multiple feral cats in the neighborhood for the last few years, right? And they've been so annoying, destroying our plants and our landscaping. And they used to just come around the yard and try to kill birds. Well, now I have gotten so many birds, I think they're chasing off the cats. Stephanie's mother and stepdad had a bird feeder in their backyard in Dumas, and we would go up there, and our daughters loved the birds. When they passed away, they brought their concrete bird feeder to our backyard, and we used to love to sit out there and feed the birds, and it's just peaceful. So this morning I'm in the backyard. I filled the bird feeder with bird seed, and all of these little sparrows and different kind of birds, red and yellow. They're not parakeets, but they're some kind of a red face, red breasted, bright red little swallows. They can sit on the bird feed, the bird feeder on these little things, the small birds, and then all of the seeds that they pull out get knocked down on the ground, and then the ground is full. There was over a dozen doves, some grackles, but mostly doves and blue jays. And we get some cardinals, but mostly blue jays and doves in my backyard. So I've got video of all these little colorful birds on the bird feeder and the sound of all the birds. And it's just so peaceful. And watching the blue jays are just beautiful. I love the cardinals. Red's my wife's favorite color, but we don't see them as much. And I'm trying to get these same kind of bird seed that will attract these kind of birds, and they'll get the word out, and we'll get some cardinals in the backyard too. But that's how I protect my peace early in the morning. I'm talking to God, I'm praying, I'm watching some YouTube, maybe just decompressing a little in the morning as I start my day, and listening to the birds is just fun. Our peace is a non-negotiable. We need to protect it, right? And that God is the only one whose opinion matters about how I protect my peace. They can say you need to get up at 4 a.m., get your coffee drinking out of the way, hit the gym, and then start grinding. And I'm like, that's not a lifestyle that I decided I wanted to live for myself, right? I get up early, I wash my face, I say my prayers, and I get in communion with who I am with God and how I'm going to start my day. And that's my peace that I will protect, right? Critics didn't call me to my kind of peace or their kind of peace. God did. And God's opinion and that of my immediate family and my inner sphere are the only opinions that really matter in my life right now. Many of you that know me know this, right? Yes, thank you, Jackie. It's beautiful. I wish I was able, had more time to resave that video to the right format so I could have uploaded it and shared the video with you this morning. But it's so peaceful and I love it. Remember David, when David was going to fight Goliath, all of the people around him, his brothers, the king, everyone, all they could do is complain and tell him that how is he going to do this? If you're going to fight Goliath, who do you think you are? You're just a shepherd boy. You don't have the ability to do this. And he told him, I've killed the lion and the bear while I was just a little boy out guarding the sheep. What have you done? So then King Saul tried to put his armor on him and give him all these things that would weigh him down. And he's like, I can't fight with that. I don't want all of these things that weigh me down. He had to cast all of that off. He had to ignore all the voices of those who doubted him before he could run out there and face Goliath in the way that God had shown him how. Sometimes the battle is first won by silencing the wrong voices, the complaining critics. We've got to get rid of those people in our life. And then finally, number 5, the guilt tripper. And you're like, oh no, here we go. These are the ones that most of us probably battle the hardest. Guilt trippers are manipulators in disguise. What does the Bible say manipulation is? If you are a Bible person, if you're a faith person, you'll know what the Bible says about manipulation. Manipulation is a spirit of witchcraft. And guilt trippers are practicing manipulation in disguise. And the Bible clearly says that that is a spirit of witchcraft. They're trying to manipulate you into doing something that goes against your spirit. Amen. Thank you, Miss Becca. Yes, ma'am. My another dear friend watching the show. Appreciate you. The guilt tripper uses empathy as a weapon. We've talked in the past about the difference between sympathy and empathy, right? Sympathy simply means you are sympathizing with someone's situation. You feel for that. Now, empathy means you understand their situation. And these guilt trippers will use your understanding of their situation as a weapon of manipulation. They want to make you feel bad for growing, for changing, or for choosing what's best for you and your family or your business instead of theirs. They say things like, you're changing. You're different now. Oh, you're too busy for me now. Or you owe me. Wasn't I there for you such and such a time in the past? The remember whens. Don't you owe me? I think you owe me. But growth requires change. Priorities are made to change. Priorities have to shift for us to move forward. The guilt trippers fear losing control of you, not losing you as a person. They want to control you. They want to dictate how you operate, where you operate, and with who you operate, hang out with, spend time with, because they don't want you leaving their sphere because you're the one person they can leech off of, right? The emotional leeches. Guilt trippers fear losing that control, not losing you. They confuse access with entitlement. They feel like they are entitled to you when in all actuality, you have simply given them an access point. And that may be an access point that we need to shut the door on. Sometimes you need to rescind that, take that back, right? Because they feel like that access is owed to them. They're entitled to that. But as we evolve, we have to make peace with disappointing people who are never really there for you. Sometimes people who are with you are not for you, right? That's another one. You should write it down. Not everyone who is with you is for you. Don't ever let guilt sabotage your growth. Don't allow them, and this is one that I've started telling myself a lot lately. You should probably write this one down. Do not allow guilt trippers to make you carry bags that you didn't pack. Do not let the guilt trippers make you carry bags you didn't pack. Jesus loved everyone, but he didn't let everyone control his time. When Lazarus' sisters came to him, or they sent word that Lazarus was sick and near death, Jesus kept walking. Jesus didn't take off running because he needed them to grow their faith. And when Jesus got there, Lazarus had been dead a couple of days. And they told Jesus, well, if you would have hurried, Lazarus wouldn't have died. And Jesus wept, shortest verse in the Bible. And he didn't weep because Lazarus died. He wept because they didn't have enough faith to believe what he could do. And he called Lazarus back from the dead, right? Don't allow those guilt trippers to make you carry bags you didn't pack. You don't owe anyone an explanation for you choosing obedience to God, obedience and a willingness to protect your peace and your happiness and your success over an obligation to someone else. You don't owe them an explanation for that. The only person you're responsible to is God, right? Your spouse, your immediate family. Thank you, Lorraine, Tori. I appreciate the kind comments. Remember this in closing. These are the 5 people that we really need to avoid if we want to be happy and successful. And I think the guilt tripper is one of the worst. And it's one that I've probably battled the most as we age. I keep saying that in this show, as we age. And many of you are battling the same thing. But the guilt tripper is something that I have really, really gone to battle with. And a few months ago, I just came to grips with the fact that my peace and my happiness, my spirit, my walk with God is more important than the guilt that was being dumped on me by specific people in my life. And I just refused to allow it. And it caused a couple of really large blow ups with some people that I love. And and then it turns into idle threats and you don't love me, you don't, all of the things, all of the things. And you've all heard it, right? You've all felt it. People have done it to you too. And my peace has become more important than allowing myself to continue to carry that weight and bail people out of issues and instances that they got themselves into. I'm not allowing them to continue to cast those burdens on me anymore because I don't owe them, and neither do you. I don't owe them my time. I don't owe them my resources. I don't owe them my energy because I didn't put them in the situations they have found themselves getting themselves into and creating the messes that they created for themselves and for the people around them. And I was guilt tripped for way too long out of love, concern. Blood is thicker than water. Where were you when I needed you? And I'm just done with that. And I believe that you are too. And this is going to set some of you free today. God has called you to your life. God has called you to follow him in spirit. God said, if you want to carry something, right? Carry the yoke and the burden of God. Jesus said, come unto me and I'll give you rest. It's an old song we used to sing when I was a kid. Take my yoke upon you and hear me and be blessed. He said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So I can take everything that I've got and I can go give it to God, give it to Jesus, and then take up his yoke, his burden, follow him. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. Following God gives me so much more peace. Lisa says, love me some peace. Amen, sister. That's what it's all about. I just don't owe people an explanation for choosing my life, for choosing my peace over obligation to them. Now, I'm not telling you to just cancel everything on your calendar. Please hear my heart on this. We just have to learn to use wisdom and follow God while we are dealing with these 5 types of people. Success as we age isn't just about what we gain, right? It's about the life we choose to live. It's about what we're willing to give up to walk in peace. It's about what we're willing to walk away from. The dream killers, the emotional leeches, the remember winners, the complainers and critics, and the guilt trippers. They may have had a seat at your table in the past, but they don't get to eat you out of your future, right? It's an old joke. I'll tell you this joke. Adam and Cain in the Bible, Adam and Cain are walking down this road, and they come across this big forest, and there's an angel standing in front of it with a flaming sword, and it just looks beautiful as they look past into that paradise. And Cain looks at Adam. It's been a long time, and he goes, "What's that place?" And Adam says, "That's where we used to live before your mother ate us out of house and home." I know it's a bad Adam and Eve joke, right? Eve ate the apple, Adam gave it to her. But he goes, yeah, that's where we used to live before your mother ate us out of house and home. Listen, these people had a seat at your table and they were eating your food. They were consuming all of your resources, but they would, if you leave them in your life, they will eat you out of your future. And you can't afford to do that. Your calling is too high. Your peace is too valuable. Your time is too short, and mine is too. And our mission is too urgent to entertain the wrong voices in our life. Protect your peace at all cost. Guard your purpose, no matter the cost. And walk boldly into the life God created for you, not the life everyone around you is trying to force you into. That's it for today. I hope you guys got something out of the show today. This has been Midweek Motivation Live with me, your friend and host, Patrick Lee. If this episode spoke to you in any way, please share it with a friend. Send all the likes and loves that you can on social media. Yes, Jackie, no matter the cost. No matter the cost. It is so valuable. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me grow. Click on the bell to get notifications. If you are listening to this on one of the major podcast platforms, go on there, leave me a review. I really, really, really appreciate it. That's how we grow. Tag me on social media when you share this with other people and help me keep the show moving forward. Until next time, stay strong, stay fruitful, stay away from all of those types of people. They're just going to rob your peace. I love you. Bye bye.